Wonderful. One of the things I love about the music is that it's such a corporate thing, a community thing. There's no soloist, there's no one person playing and the rest accompanying. You have to listen to everybody else and you have to play as a group. And that's always appealed to me. I like that.
I guess for me, though, we had a gamelan at our wedding, and that was very important to me.
Yeah.
So yeah. And Adrian organised that for us, and I'm very grateful to him for doing that.
Yeah.
So it's quite a big thing, and he doesn't come across as a natural organiser, and suddenly it just all happened. So that was a wonderful thing for us. Yeah.
I think I don't know about the real statistics, but there are more than 30 groups in throughout the UK.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah, it's quite a lot
So it's
around the
popular.
UK.
You mean gamelan?
Gamelan, gamelan
yeah.
group. And it's not only Javanese gamelan, there's
Balinese.
Balinese gamelan, there's Sundanese gamelan. So, yeah, I think there's quite a wide acceptance of what gamelan is. And I think people enjoy it because it's soothing, it's different. And whenever people listen to it, they always say that it's relaxing.
It's fun and
It's
something
fun.
different to do.
Really relaxing as well.
I mean, you don't have to be very musical
You
to
can
be able to do it.
Because with kind of the numbers on the
Yeah.
list, and it's quite easy to pick up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really the numbers that we rely on, because otherwise we couldn't do it.
I didn't know before I joined this group that there were so many gamelans in Britain. I wasn't surprised that there was one in Cambridge, because Cambridge is Cambridge, it's like that, you know. It probably has a lot of other things like that. And I knew, of course, there was one in London on the South Bank, because you see it sometimes when you're in the building. But I didn't know that. I think even quite small towns will have a gamelan sometimes in this country.
I
Yes.
didn't know that. That
Yes.
surprises me, and I really wonder how that comes.
gamelan in the UK, 100 sets.
Really?
Approximately, yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I'd be very interested to find out why myself, really.
Yes.
It's one of those strange questions, quite why it's taken off in such a big way in this country, but I don't really know, but something just works. I think, speaking from my own experience, I think British people feel quite at home in Indonesia as well, certainly in Java. Just the way people interact is quite familiar for us. I think that idea of being slightly formal but basically friendly. I mean, it's a stereotype in both countries, but I think it just works. I think British people feel quite comfortable in Indonesia and at home. We don't find it odd particularly. I'm probably just generalising and talking from my own experience here, but yeah, there must be something there, because it really does. An awful lot of British people play gamelan.
I think it gives a balance to the work, so that when you're spending a lot of time and most jobs have got a certain amount of stress and so on, to go at the end of the day, as today where we've been working all day long, and to look forward to something in the evening where you can get rid of some emotions and basically have a bit of serenity at the end of the day, is something to look forward to, and I think it fills that kind of function that you're working with other people cooperatively, and the music you're producing is very relaxing in many ways as well. So it's.
Well, I think you forget your worries. So you've had a day at work. We meet on a Wednesday night from 6 till 9, and sometimes we've had a busy day or a boring day or a day when you feel angry with someone, and you forget everything at that point. You know, you totally lose yourself in the music, and if you're angry, then it's good to be able to bang something really, really hard and get rid of your frustration. But on the other hand, the quieter music is soothing and relaxing and just puts you in a good frame of mind.
I'm very conscious of the community aspect of playing the music. It's very good to be part of a group which is totally committed to this particular music. I also feel it's got a bit of a spiritual element, so I can feel at a certain point that something spiritual is satisfied in me. And as Chris says, it's very cathartic. So if one is feeling a bit depressed or bothered about something, then playing the Slentham, or well, particularly the instrument that you...
The demung.
The demung, yes, playing the demung, I think is very good for releasing that sort of energy.
People here more respect what gamelan because they're more interested than people in Indonesia. So I was kind of, I wish I played early before, and then I never think about it before, but now I enjoy very much. Then you see how many people here in UK, they very interested in gamelan. When they watch it, and then they very, very into it. Not just just watch it. They asking, and then it's very different here rather than Indonesia. And then if you go to Indonesia, not many people, unless if you go to the wedding or that's why it's nice here.
I just thought, why English people have to work so hard learning gamelan and learning dance, and so we only have 3 Indonesian dancers. With Puja, it are 4 of us for Indonesian dancers, but the rest are like from Japan, Hungary, and English people. I think it's just a matter of most Indonesians who live in this country, they are too busy with the family and work, and they just haven't got time. But I'm the same as well, I'm busy with family and work, but I still have spare time to come up here and just join the performance. Yeah, but I was quite shocked that there's such good performance. Lila Chita, gamelan player, and I wish I can play gamelan. I've just started learning gamelan about 3 months ago. I just thought it is really difficult piece to learn, more than dance. That's what I thought.
I started playing first of all when I was 12 years old, and I didn't live in London. I didn't grow up in London, so I started gamelan in my hometown of Bradford-on-Avon, which is just outside of Bath. And there was a lady called Talia Race in Bradford who had a gamelan in her loft, strangely enough, and she owned it with I think it was 3 other people at the time. So it spent half the year in Bradford-on-Avon and half the year in Swindon. So someone just told me about it, and I went along to her community sessions just out of curiosity and got hooked. And then I found out that there was gamelan also at South Bank Centre, and there was a youth group on Saturday mornings, and it was run by a friend of my mum's actually. She used to tutor it, and she told me about it, and I used to go up on the train every Saturday to here, to this place, the Royal Festival Hall, and joined the youth group. And again, got hooked and kind of took over my life from there.
First time was definitely part of the GCSE music syllabus. You have to learn about 3 words associated with gamelan and spot it. After that, it was a module at my university degree, and I opted for it before I'd actually properly heard it, and I've gone from there.
When did I first hear it? I heard something similar when I went on holiday to Thailand and Malaysia a number of years ago, and I discovered that it was an option to play gamelan at South Bank Centre. So I went along and I learned how to play, and I went along to a few concerts, and so I rather enjoyed it.
I heard gamelan in a music class for A-level, and my music school had just bought a Javanese Lendra gamelan. So I went and had a look at that, and then I went to School of Oriental and African Studies, where I met Andy Channing, and it went downhill from there. I started on Javanese gamelan, and then progressed to Balinese as well.
Well, I joined gamelan about nearly 2 years ago now, and yeah, it's like really changed my whole experience at university, because for every week for 3 hours I come and do gamelan, and it's very different environment to the rest of my life, in and out of Oxford libraries and going to tutorials and having quite a stressful time. So it's really great to come every week to have 3 hours of calm and like music that I really love, and made lots of friends as well, like in gamelan.
And I find gamelan a good way of staying in touch with my roots, my background, my family. As I say, even though I never played gamelan, it was always around, and now in England I have a busy British life, and I've brought up two British children, but gamelan is the Indonesian part of me that I'm staying in touch with.
Yeah, gamelan. It affects me. Well, it's something I can count on once a week, meeting with those people and kind of thinking in that idea. And also when I write music now, it gives me a whole nother body of information to draw from. You know, gamelan's totally different from anything I've ever really listened to. And in making that normal, it gives me a lot more, you know, tools in the toolbox of a musician. Instead of just thinking of these scales or this, that, and the other, you start thinking of, oh, this one thing that used to be outside of the box or that used to be strange to me is now not strange anymore. So there's that aspect, and then just, I guess, having that social thing has really made my life different.
When I started playing in 1987, in probably October 1987, at Cambridge University. I'd been at Cambridge as an undergraduate, and when I finished my undergraduate, I chose to do a PhD, stay on and do a PhD. All my friends left at that point, and so I felt I needed to get new friends. So I did the standard university thing, which was to go to what was known as a societies fair, and at societies fair, that many different societies have stalls, and I joined maybe 10 or 15 different societies, which was again a very standard thing to do when you're a student. And I went to gamelan as one of those, or to the gamelan group as one of those societies. And I remember, I can actually remember sitting in the room where the gamelan was, which was in the university music school. It was in kind of a foyer in the university music school because it was quite a big set. And watching and listening to them play. And I couldn't work out what was going on. I didn't particularly like the music, but bit by bit I got to like the people. So I went back, I gave it several weeks. I gave all the different things I joined several weeks. I went back, and in the end I made some very, very good friends there. But I'd never really I didn't really hear gamelan then. What I heard was a small group from Cambridge playing gamelan, but there was no soft instruments, so it sounds very different to what I would imagine. It was Javanese gamelan, what I'd imagine, or what I know gamelan sounds like now. Maybe after the first term, I started borrowing tapes from the gamelan group, and actually I hated the music much more when I listened to the tapes, because I hated the suling, the flute, I hated the singing, the screechy women singing away. I hated the rabab, the two-stringed instrument. I just didn't understand the music. And then maybe after a year, something changed. I don't know what it was, and I fell in love with the music, and I was hooked. And I've never really looked back since, and I don't know what it was that made me love it so much.